Hey everybody, Robert Rice from American Flight Museum in Topeka, Kansas. Just wanted to share a little bit with you guys about our Cessna 182 we have. It's a 1970 182 with an 0470 engine in it. And we're just doing the annual on it. And as we were doing it, we had a couple of low compression cylinders. And what we've decided the problem is the valve seals are loose. So we're gonna have to take springs off and look in there and check it. Our mechanics are gonna have to decide whether we have to pull the cylinder off or not.
The valve seal, is that right in that area, or is it farther back?
Well, the valve seal is inside, but it kind of makes a tight seal around the valve.
All right.
So that it doesn't let air escape through.
And that the air escaping is what is causing low compression.
Right. So it's kind of funny that you see some rope.
That is kind of odd, yeah.
And it's going into the cylinder.
Right.
So part of the process is, without removing the cylinder, you have to have something to hold the valve in place. Otherwise, when you took the spring off, it would just fall into the cylinder. Not good. So we pack it full of rope and then pull it prop tight against it. So now we can take the spring off.
Oh, so I can't move the prop right now?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
And then we'll pull that spring off and we can look in there and see if we need to replace the valve seals, which probably would indicate pulling the cylinders off.
So your mechanic be able to do all of this work without removing the whole jug, or is the jug coming off?
We can pull them off and look in there and see if we need to pull a cylinder off.
You can diagnose once
we can diagnose it
once you go from there.
Yeah. And then the same with this one.
You think it's the same issue with the valve seal?
Yeah, I think they were both blown by, which I guess I've heard that's kind of typical for these aircraft.
Now, so on a 182, what's how many hours would you guesstimate your mechanic is going to be spending on this?
If we have to pull the jugs off, probably 40 hours,
Oh, so a whole
week.
A week's worth of work for the mechanic.
Yep.
So this isn't going to be a cheap repair.
No, it could be fairly cheap if it's just put new valve seals in it and the rest of the cylinder's good and the piston's good, which it ran good before we did the compression test. So we're anticipating everything is good in there. We just have to replace the valve seals. I don't know how much those parts cost, but they're not terribly expensive.
Yeah. And it's a 182, so there's parts availability. It's definitely out there.
Oh yeah, brand new. Yeah, not a problem.
So let's walk around and see what's going on for the rest of the annual.
Obviously, we have all the inspection panels opened up.
Right.
And our mechanic will come through and just check to make sure everything looks good. There's no frayed cables or broken bolts or anything that needs to be fixed.
Looking for corrosion, right?
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
And
how you guys operate, is you're allowed to do an owner-assisted annual?
Yes.
And what does that look like?
Well, as a non-mechanic, there are certain things under the FAA that a pilot owner can do on the airplane, such as changing spark plugs, changing tires, simple mechanical things. Anything beyond that, you have to have an A&P. So luckily we have an A&P and an IA that oversee our work, so we can help, but they're here when we're doing anything, just to make sure it's done right.
Right.
And because they're so experienced, they know what to look for and how to get things done. So you can see the cables back here. That's where we took the fairings off, so we can check the safety wire and the cables that they're not frayed.
And really, these fairings, it's just a bunch of Phillips head machine screws.
Yeah. Yep.
Taking all of the plates off isn't a long process.
No.
Because this annual wouldn't be too expensive if you hadn't have found the problem with the cylinders.
Right. And just a little bit more about this plane. The museum has it, and it's in the process of, it'll get new paint, new avionics, new interior. All those things will come as we, raise money for it.
Right.
So it's a work in progress, but it's, from everything I understand, the airplane itself has got good bones. It's no corrosion. The engine only has like approximately 350 hours on it.
Oh, wow.
It flies really nice. We have flown it last couple of years a little bit.
Yeah. Do you have a spark plug for this thing so we can show them what a spark plug looks like? I know it'll be over here in the toolbox maybe. Or actually, show them the head. Or these aren't heads, but what a valve cover looks like.
Well, that's it, the valve cover.
Yeah.
And then that's the inside of it. Of course, that's the outside.
Right. Okay.
You just pull it off, and it just keeps oil and everything in there. And
Right. I don't know if we'd have the old plug laying around.
there's one of the old plugs.
Oh, so these things are massive.
They're fair-sized plugs.
Yeah. I mean, they're a little bigger than what's going to go in your Hemi.
And we'll replace those with brand new plugs. And right now, they're about $35 a piece. So they're kind of pricey. But, you know,
And those are Champion plugs or those?
well, those are
NGK?
actually Tempest
Oh, Tempest.
company. We can use Champion or Tempest.
Okay.
They're interchangeable.
Right. And then we haven't looked inside the aircraft yet. Let's do
Yeah,
that.
let's take a look. And we know that we're going to redo the interior and put some modern avionics in it.
Right.
We actually
But
have
it's-
some of the radios already pulled out, so.
Yeah. Well, I also just wanted to show the viewers how many inspection plates are on the inside.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I know sometimes on some aircraft the seats have to come out too, but it's kind of cool how all these inspection plates allow for the AMP to be able to look through the aircraft.
Right.
And like, you can kind of explain why pilots communicate, do not fly. It's an annual.
It's out of annual.
Out of annual.
So that was just the,
Right.
just to let any of our
Yeah.
members make sure that they understand that it's not an annual. You can't go fly it.
Just one extra level of safety precaution.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, this looks like a pretty good aircraft, and we're excited to see it back in the air.
I think most people know the Cessna 182, the longevity of the aircraft is just phenomenal.
Right.
You can't replace it. They're just great airplanes. Truly a 4-seat with 4 adults and throw stuff in the baggage compartment. And you can go across country in it. Hopefully we'll get an autopilot in it, and then we can, go across country comfortably. So.
Right. This can go up to Oshkosh with the Goon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Good.
Oh, yeah.